As usual, I'm gonna let this play out for a second. Come on. Ish. All right.
Ish.
Ish. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm making sure that the live stream's on. I'm making sure that it's good to go. It seems like we're gonna go and get this going on. Ish. All right. It looks like we're live, ladies and gentlemen, right here on Swissbeatbox. My name's Scott Jackson, bringing you episode 18 of Beyond the Beats, the official SBX podcast, brought to you every Sunday, live stream once again on Swissbeatbox. Like this video, put some comments on it, and yeah, today's one's gonna be fun. I'm excited. I hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday wherever you are in the world. I hope it's early, late, whatever you're doing, you're kicking back, relaxing, and checking this out. Send this around to your friends, tell them to go and tune in, and let's get this thing going. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited because this week I'm joined with one person that I'm very excited to talk to. I've been seeing him come up, and I've got to meet him and see him perform a few times. I've got to see him win online a few times. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this week we have River, aka The Creek, aka The Wet River, aka Enzo Mexfu, coming at you live and direct, the French champion, so many different championships under his belt. We starting off like that. Ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna go and get those smiles happening and popping straight from the beginning. What up, man? How you doing?
What's up, bro? What an intro, my God. Yeah, man, I'm super fine. Super happy to be here. Hello to everyone who's watching. And yeah, hello, Scott. How are you?
I'm good. I'm better now that you're on side with me and go and talk to you and have a conversation about beatboxing, about your life, your career, about all the fun things that are happening. And
Yes.
yeah, man, I'm excited. I think the people are excited as well. Yeah. Beyond the Beats, once again. Let's get this thing going. So, and if you guys are listening to this right now, big shout outs to MB14 every time, making the intro track. Love MB14. So, yeah, I don't really like wasting time, so let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, right here live, about to go and find out what's happening Beyond the Beats. Wait for it. Yes.
Yeah, that was MB14 for sure.
You can hear that in his voice as soon as you get that intro, eh? But it's funny, as soon as you made it for us, and as soon as I heard it the first time, it just makes me want to now I'm just like, yeah, coming at you, get a little dance going. And then,
yeah,
bring it back. But yeah, we're here live and direct, ladies and gentlemen.
You can do that instead of our chat, you know.
Yeah. It's just going to be continuous dance party. We're not even going to talk about beatbox. It's just going to be 10 minutes.
It's just fine.
Coming at you live and direct, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Sitting with my friends.
Please continue.
Yeah, and then you go like this. You're like, but seriously, we're going to get back right into the show. Right. I lied. We're back into the dancing. Can't stop it. Ish. Oh, man. Well, we're going to get this
like
thing
you're
going.
having fun. That's the most
having a great
important.
time. I'm having a great time.
Definitely.
I always have a good time.
Cool.
Big smile on my face, and I'm, again, happy that you're here. Ish? Ladies and gentlemen, once again, right here live with River. Before we go and get into all of your accomplishments and everything that you've done so far, you can see them on your back wall there. And getting into the conversation, I could see a few of the trophies and plaques that you have. I just like to start off most of the time. I found an interview that you did with, I believe it's pronounced La Dauphine. La Dauphine. It's a newspaper or an online thing.
Man, how did you? Oh my God, it's Le Dauphiné. I have it just there. It's a local newspaper in my region. I'm just here, smiling and with an approximative haircut, but it's me.
Yeah, but in that interview, I really liked it. I found that online when I was looking around, and I like the one quote that you have there where you say, when they're asking you what beatboxing is and they're saying stuff, and you say the translation to English was it's music, not just technical, but
Yep.
it's music. So I really like
Definitely.
that to go and start off with that quote because I think the people like that too. But,
Yes.
yeah, man. So I always like starting with a quote, and I think that was a good one to start off with because it kind of puts into mind where you're coming from for the beatbox sense, and you're not just going to go there and try to do many sounds and trying to be not organized. I feel like a lot of your routines are very organized, very well thought out, very logically put together. You spend the
Thank you.
time and think about it, and it's been a pleasure to go and watch you grow. But let's go and start off by asking, first of all, you're not originally from France. You're originally from Colombia. So how did you end up going and migrating over to France? And could you just quickly explain that story before we get into your beatbox career? Because I kind of was wondering that of like when that happened, how old you were, and was it a shock for you to go and move to France?
Okay, so basically, my mom is Colombian and my father is French. They met in Colombia because my father was traveling and stuff, and they had me in Colombia, and they decided to immigrate to France when I was 2 months old. So I never lived in Colombia. It was not a shock because I don't remember it.
Ah, okay.
But I was raised with both cultures anyway. There's always salsa in my house. My mom raised me in the Colombian way, So I have a really good contact with my family there. We talk a lot, and I went several times to see my family. I know them. I'm really close to them, even with the distance. So yeah, that's it. A lot of people ask since I say the Batalla de Latinos in the GBB after when I faced Thomas Sacre, because we were two Latin people at GBB, and I think it never happened. I don't know if it happened, but I think it never happened. So it was important for me to say it, even when people never knew I was Colombian, So yeah.
You should be proud of that, man. And that's a good line that you would say at the end of the battle to make that apparent. And did you have you ever gone back to Colombia and been there for meeting any of the Colombian beatboxers? I believe Beat Mita is from there as well.
Yep,
I'm not,
Beat Mita. So sick.
Yeah, he's sick. But I remember you guys went at the Vocal Total in 2019. But have you ever gone back there and kind of been trying to figure out where the scene is in Colombia itself?
Man, I would have loved to, but the last time I went to Colombia was 2016, and after I wanted to go back like or this summer or next summer, but with the situation, I don't know if it's gonna be possible still. But yeah, I'm really curious. I really want to see the scene, to attend to check what's happening in Latin America in general, and Colombia, of course, because that's my roots, and yeah, and that was really pleasant and cool to meet Bitmeda also in Austria, because he was qualified in the Vocal Total, and we spent the week together, a crazy week. Everyone who went to Vocal Total knows that it's kind of physical. It's a sport to go to Vocal Total, And yeah, we still chat sometimes, and yeah, he's a really good guy, really pushing the art form there, and also really good beatboxer. So big up to Bitmeda and the comments.
Agree. Big up to Beatmeta in the comments there. But before you even got into beatboxing, I was looking around, and you can see it in the back, and it's hung up on your wall, but you were playing guitar, and from what I could see, like before you were even going into the actual scene of beatboxing, before that even happened, you were going to different musical places, and you were like learning how to go and sing, because I saw that you went to a musical camp, an orchestra camp called La Musique de Loin.
Man, you did your race. Oh my god. Yes, tell me more. I'm scared, but tell me more.
Oh no. I'm not doing this for any sort of embarrassment stuff. I'm just saying that I saw you had vocal training.
I'm proud. But,
yeah,
it's surprising.
You went to this camp, and you're learning how to sing, and you're learning how to go and be a part of a band and an orchestra. And I've seen different photos over the years now, checking on figuring out stuff online, where I've seen you before, where you would be playing guitar and singing with two girls and another guy playing guitar. So how much did you have musical influence? Were you raised musically, and did you go through and learn music theory and continue that, or was that something that just you had done, and then as soon as you got into beatbox, you kind of transitioned over?
Okay, so I started singing like at I think 6 years old or something. I mean, I always sang in I don't know to say with several people, you know, singing classical stuff, and that's kind of my roots. I went to the conservatoire, to the music school. I played the saxophone like 3 years, but now I'm really incapable of doing it. I learned a little bit of music theory, and I sang like, you know, in not in bands, you know, but it's like a big yeah, choir, exactly. I sang in choirs like for 10 years, and I think that gave me, you know, musical. It helped me to understand better music and be able to sing in tune and stuff. I really enjoyed it, and I don't do it anymore, but that I'm thinking of redoing it because it's a crazy sensation, you know, being like with 40 people singing and all is perfectly synced, and that's really cool. That was my way to express myself without being alone on a stage, you know, and just you know. Be part of something musical without putting me in the first rank, you know, getting all the attention. And yeah, I did that for a long time, and but I never worked my singing alone. I always sang with other people, and I never took private classes, you know, with just one teacher and me learning how to sing. That's my objective next year. I want to do that because I really enjoy singing, and I'm putting in more and more to my beatboxing. Because well, basically, I sang like for until the beginning of high school, you know, in choirs, and then I stopped a little bit going there because I was getting into beatboxing, and for also because I was an angry teenager, and my family was like, "Why are you beatboxing? It's so weird. You should continue singing." And I was like, "Oh yeah, well I'm gonna do exactly the opposite," and that's what I did a little bit for a long time, you know, beatboxing in watching videos and stuff, and now that I'm not an angry teenager anymore, I think. I realized it was all the stuff I did, you know, singing, and also my mother listens to a lot of salsa, Colombian music. I heard all those grooves, and my father is a really how to say, he knows a lot about rock, and he's really he likes music, you know. He plays a little bit. He's not. He doesn't consider himself as a player, but he knows a lot of stuff about music, and I listen to a lot of different genres, and that I still listen to today. You know, he introduced me to rap, for example, when I was like 10. You know, my father introduced me to rap, and and I listen to a lot of music in general since a lot of time, a lot of hip hop, and beatbox also brought me to different genres. That I listen to a lot of stuff, you know. But yes.
No, I was just saying, I do find a lot of the time too, talking to any beatboxer, some people are like, they're really into one thing of music. Like I know Sinjo, all about his drum and bass, and
yeah, I know.
When him and I and Papuni, we drove down to the American Champs this one year from Canada. I drove him down, and he just kept on being like, no, we got to put on some more drum and bass. I got to show you this style. I got to show you this style. And it was great. But then I started putting on classic rock and other stuff. And I find that a lot of beatboxers have that open mind for all different music, because you'll hear something, little tiny thing, even in some music, whether it's classical, rock, jazz, you name the style of music, there's always something usable or something that you can build off of. And that's cool that you have such a diverse background for what you can go and actually put into your beatbox. And do you feel like that definitely is like kind of shaped some of the way that you go and build a routine, or have ideas stemmed off of certain genres that you might not have ever listened to, whether if it wasn't for your mother or your father introducing them to you?
I don't know. Yeah, it definitely shaped the way I compose my beatbox. For example, I struggled a lot to structure stuff that was not hip hop. You know, once I think Big Ben said that to me one day. I remember at the Florida. I don't know why I remember this now. Big up to Big Ben. He he said like something. It's so funny where sometimes you beatbox like any genre, you freestyle, and 2,002 minutes after it's hip hop, you know, and that was exactly that. In fact, that was this groove of crazy, just a regular, you know, boom bap. That's the shit I'm into. I mean, that's what's makes me go crazy. I don't know why really, because it's not from my parents or something. They introduced it to me, but they're not fan of it. And every time I listen to a hip hop beat, I'm like, oh, that's crazy. And so after I had to because I listened to a lot of hip hop, even with my background, I was listening like 99% of hip hop all the time. And that's when I discovered beatboxing. In fact, beatboxing introduced me really to a lot of genres. When I went before beatboxing, I went into the scene. I didn't know anything about grime, about drum and bass, about even house, even a lot of stuff. I was like, that's not for me. But in fact, you can find exactly what you say. Something interesting in each style, and that's I think a deformation. I don't know what to say, but that's particular to beatboxers, or I think to musicians, but to beatboxers particularly, because we're always searching for the groove that's gonna make it, or the way to put a drum somewhere, And sometimes you listen to someone makes you listen to a genre you never listen, and you're like, oh, put that again. Oh, the way the snare is there. Oh, that's crazy. And you start listening to a lot of stuff, and that's how you get into stuff you don't listen. You never thought you'd listen. That's the beauty of it also.
100%. That's like on one of these episodes I had Reeps on, and big shout outs to Reeps, by the way. Big shout outs to Reeps. But he was saying in 2009 when he was at the World Champs, when he started doing some of the dubstep beats that he was doing, that introduced it to so many beatboxers and people that weren't necessarily fans of that style of music, just like you're saying. So all of a sudden, maybe somebody that would never have heard that, all of a sudden hears a beatbox version of it. They're like, whoa, wait a second, start checking out different producers of it and start getting into the art form. So it's crazy to see. And I think that also with our beatboxing, the way it is being so worldwide, you'll find different genres and everybody has their own thing that they're going to go and bring to the scene. And again, from Reeps being just a prime example of saying he brought dubstep to the life of many beatboxers who never would have heard it before. But that's happened time and time again with all different artists that have come into the beatbox world and had this different style and been like, whoa, wait a second, I've never thought that. Or Barry Wham taking one song and doing it in 10 different styles or something. You're like, oh, that's crazy to think about how they changed it. That slight little change going back and forth.
Yes, definitely. Also big up to Sleazer, who brought the dubstep into beatbox.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you start off, you're playing, you're in choirs, you get some musical knowledge, you go to these camps and you start getting into it. And then you said around 2012 is when you started seeing videos and being shown videos by your friends, and you see the World Champ videos 2012 with, the finals and Skiller versus Reeps, and seeing, LM versus Skiller, and getting to see those videos and Popo and the clips and all those different videos started watching. But your dad, who's been a big supporter, by the way, from what I've read, and he's always supported and taken you to places. But in 2012, 2011, you go to a concert in Brise-Glace.
Le Brise-Glace. Yes, you know that. That's my city. Oh my. That's so weird to hear it from you.
Well, my pronunciation is probably terrible, but I try to say it. What is it called?
Le Brise-Glace.
Le Brise-Glace.
It means the icebreaker. You see the big ships who break the ice.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's that.
Well, you go and there's a concert that happens there, a rap concert, and you get to see live the first two beatboxers that you see in person through a speaker bee together doing their showcase. And you said that afterwards that sparked an interest and you start talking to them, and they spent time to go and actually talk to you beforehand. And how cool is it for you as an experience of just being a fan, going to a rap show, all of a sudden seeing something that triggers your interest, and you're like, wait a second. And and them to actually spend time afterwards and talk to you. You know, like what was that experience like? Because that was the first time you ever met a beatboxer, and as most of us are, they're just so welcoming and talkative, and spending the time to go and actually talk to somebody after the fact.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. That's a really strong memory. I also want to big up two guys from my city who are not that much in the scene anymore, but went top 4 in the tag teams in 2015. They are from my city. It's they're called Furial, and it's Fury and Rafal, and they were like 15 and 16 when they did it, so that's pretty impressive. And yeah, they were there. They were there also, and those are the two first memories I have. It's Speaker being Comart, Onisan, and Furial. And yeah, at this moment, I remember it was crazy to feel the bass, to see all was made from the mouth, and to experience it live, you know. And that was before I even knew, you know, there was a beatbox community or something. I had no idea about that since like 2016, I think. But yeah, that was really, really cool. And I'm still in contact a lot with them. Big up to Comart and Speaker B. The real guys. Yeah, they're killing it.
Yeah, I love what they've been doing too. And it's cool to see them continue on and changing from having dreadlocks to no dreadlocks and being clean cut and joining in group and doing I love Kumar, I love Speaker B. They're dope people. And
vocal scratchers.
Oh, crazy. That's something that's kind of not fallen off, but I think because they did recently, Mike Spawn and Firebraz and a lot of people did that vocal scratch challenge where they went through it and actually did the vocal scratch, and obviously Scratch from the Roots and Tom Thumb and people of that sort, where they actually have a crazy vocal scratch. I wish that would come back more. I wish I would hear more of that done to that precision, and not just going but actually being like hitting it and being like, whoa, you sound exactly like a record. Like that.
Yes, definitely. That's personally why I don't do vocal scratch, because it would be like, and I suck at it, so I don't do it, you know. But I think it's part. Excuse me, you had a question. Maybe it's it goes with what I'm gonna say.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's like maybe because in general music has less scratches, you know. In general nowadays. I know in the 90s, even in the early 20 years ago, like in the early I don't know to say, fuck.
2000s?
My numbers are bad. In the early 2000s, oh my God. It was pretty common to have a crazy vocal scratch part, and to lead people, beatboxers would listen to it more and more and try to imitate it all the time. It came under control. For example, they define themselves as a vocal DJ band, I think.
Vocal DJ crew. Yes.
Vocal DJ crew. So crazy. And yeah, it's just less present in music, but it's always so impressive to see. Even I think new school beatboxers enjoy that because it's something we can't do. You know, we can do a lot of stuff that was not done at the beginnings of beatbox, for example. But the best new school beatboxer, I think, you ask him to do vocal scratch on a record, he can't do it, you know. And that's where we can take from the old guys. Man, I saw Sly Johnson in September.
Yes.
That was one of the best concerts of my life. Even as not a beatbox, the guy is so crazy, man. He did like a song first. He's a crazy rapper, you know. His flow and his gestures, everything he does has flow, you know. It's like the definition of flow. This guy is impressive, and he sings so cool, so good. And he did the vocal scratch in the first song, like for 10 seconds. Everybody was like, "Wow, that's crazy. That sounds like a real record." Everything, you know, even that's you can tell he worked for years and years to achieve that, you know. And we don't have that in the new school. That's true, and it's kind of bad. I hope it comes back.
Well, yeah, it could come back. It just takes somebody doing it well to get that opportunity to go and show it. And I've seen different people do it more recently. And like MB14's got a good scratch, and there's a couple different guys that have really good vocal scratches. But I feel like the obviously Tom Thumb and like Scratch again. I keep on bringing them up, but those are the scratches where I remember watching those the first time. And actually, when I first heard Scratch from the Roots, Scratch on a record, and I heard his track that he had, I actually had to like stop it, play it again, stop it, play it again, because I'm like, this is unbelievable. This isn't even. It doesn't even sound humanly possible to go and make it like that. And I think that's one of the biggest things for beatboxing in general. That always, when somebody hears it, and there's like you said, you're sitting there watching and hearing it come through the speakers, hearing the bass and everything. But hearing something so unbelievable makes you want to train to go and get to that level. Just try to go and achieve something where you're like, okay, now people see me and hear something that they think is unbelievable. And it's crazy the way that cycle works, man. Like crazy to go in here.
And yeah, Scratch is totally crazy. That's one of my first shocks in beatboxing also. I remember perfectly. You know, there's a video where he's in Germany, I think, or something.
Yeah.
He has a white suit, and he just does like after he beatboxes like normally, you know, but he does like 20 seconds of vocal scratch, and that's inhuman. You're like, what? He has, you know, even he feels like triple voice or something, you know. He has perfectly the pitches you have in a record, and also he has a weird technique that really looks like a sucker punch, and it does a you know, like
yes
yeah, it sounds like a sucker punch, and that's crazy that the guy like this does that. I don't know how it does that. It's not exactly a sucker punch. It sounds even more uncommon, so that's insane.
Yeah, he's an original for sure. And I remember that actual video you're talking about, he was opening up for some big German superstar, and he was doing an opening set, and they kind of just asked him in passing, hey, do you mind doing just one without the loop station? Could you just do a quick set? Because something happened. I remember I was talking to him about it because I brought that video up because it's one of the most viewed beatbox videos, right? And he was telling me, it's like, yeah, they just got to ask me. So I didn't even think about it. I just did it, and it was a little routine. And I'm like,
that was freestyle.
Yeah, it just blew up like crazy.
My God. That's annoying. I mean, this guy did that in freestyle. My God. That's so cool.
Yeah, man. So you start beatboxing. You see some beatboxers. You start doing what most beatboxers do: watching the videos. You're practicing, watching the videos, practicing. And then what brought you and made you look at Grand Beatbox Battle 2016, where your dad drove you? You guys slept in the car. He brings you to Basel, and you get to go and actually like go and become a part of the scene in that little event, or not little event, but I mean that little slice of time where you're like, what made you decide that, okay, I'm going to go to Grand Beatbox Battle? And, you know, your dad was nice enough to go and take you there and allow you to go and experience it.
Wow. I love this story. It's like 1 week before Grand Beatbox Battle. And at this moment, I don't know the existence even of a Grand Beatbox Battle. I'm just like, you know, I never experienced beatbox live. I'm not planning at all to go a week before. Like even 5 days before, I think. It's like I think that was on the Monday, and I was going to school and stuff, and I wanted to go on the next weekend. Why I wanted to go? Because the Furial again, one of the guys of the Furial, Arnaud, big up. I called him and I was like, yeah, what are you guys? Or messaged him anyway, but I messaged him like, hey, what are you guys doing this weekend? Let's chill and beatbox or something, you know, because I wanted to check beatboxers. That was not at all a big part of my life at this moment. I was watching videos, but I was not that much into the culture still. That was a part of my life, but not as big as now, as you can imagine. And anyway, he says, oh man, I'm sorry, the next weekend I'm not here. There's the Grand Beatbox Battle. And I'm like, okay, what's the Grand Beatbox Battle? He's like, wow, that's an insane battle. There are all the beatboxers from all over the world. You should come and stuff. And I'm like, okay. And I without asking my parents still, but in my head, it's already clear that I'm gonna go. You know, I'm like, it's obligatory. I'm gonna go because the GBB at this moment was in Basel, in Switzerland, and I live in Annecy. It's a town in Annecy that in France. It's in the border with Switzerland. It's like 30 minutes from Geneva. So it's like 2-3 hours from Basel. You know, was really simple to go. I was really lucky on this one. If I had to take a plane, it would have been more complicated. But I'm like, okay, really sure about myself. You know, I go check my parents, and I'm like, okay, this weekend I'm gonna take a train. I'm gonna sleep in a hotel. I have no money. I am assuming they're gonna pay it. I don't know what happened. Why that? And I'm like, I'm gonna go with people. I don't know. I'm gonna go to the Grand Beatbox battle. And they're like, okay, no, because they're normal parents, and they don't want their child of 16 years old to 17 to go to somewhere. It's normal, you know. And I was like, no, I want to go. I want to go to the Grand Beatbox battle, and I insisted a lot. And my father was okay, but okay, you can go, but I'm gonna go with you. And I was like, okay. And he drove me. It was the second day. I didn't watch the elims. That's too bad. I would have loved to watch the elims of 2016. Damn. But yeah, man, Bloomers won, FIBs won anyway. And Pete Rhino, FIB. Ah, my God.
Yeah.
And I arrive on Saturday. I remember I entered to the hostel, you know, the legendary hostel where so much things happened. And I enter, I turn my head, I see Firebras and Alem. I almost pass out because I'm like, wow, they're Firebras and Alem. They're real, you know. It's like they're real persons, and I still this barrier of me and these guys watch and those guys I saw on videos on YouTube and stuff. My idols, you know, just broke, and that was a really intense night. I watched all the battles like this. The first battle I ever experienced in my life live was Thorsen MB14 on Loop Station. That's a good start.
Dope battle.
That's a decent start, you know. So yeah, that was a pretty that was absolutely intense, and big up to my dad. Absolutely, we slept in the car because we had no hotel room, so we slept in the car, and he drove me directly after at my home. So big up, papa, t'es le meilleur.
Yeah, man. It's
anyway,
dope that, man.
Yeah, that was crazy. And yeah, I remember really well the battles. I can tell you two things about GBB. Maybe I enter, I see Skiller doing the sound check. I pass out a second time, and after I remember, that's really important. I already told it to the persons concerned, but there's the hall, you know, before you enter in the venue, yes. And there's like Darnie and another beatboxer. The beatboxer is doing some sick hip hop grooves, and Darnie is like guiding him. He's like, okay, do this sound. Okay, now this sound. No. You know, Darnie is really inspiring. He's like he knows how to push you and stuff. There are people like this in our scene, and I was one of the first listening. And after 5-10 minutes of freestyle, there were like 20-30 people around Darnie and this guy, and we were like, wow, that's insane. And stuff, and I didn't even know his name at this moment. And this guy was Bloomer, and I didn't know this guy at this moment. And after I went to my home, and the GBB video started dropping, and I saw he did an elim on the last day. You know, I was like, oh, this guy did an elim. No one. I was wondering why he was so sick. And Bloomer is definitely one of my big inspirations. I really love Bloomer. His beatboxing is the way he grooves, that's insane.
Yeah, Bloomer
anyway.
is definitely one of the favorites. American champ, by the way, if you don't know Bloomer.
Yeah, American champ. Damn.
Big going champ.
So damn deserved.
Yes.
Damn.
Correct.
He's a champion.
You're the champ. Yes. So when you come back from that, that's your first ever, like, again, that's like going to, you know, the World Series if you watch baseball, or the Stanley Cup if you watch,
yeah.
Or for hockey fans, like, you go to the biggest event, and that's your first event in 2016, just to go and test the waters. You get to go and see that at Grand Beatbox Battle, and you come back from that, and you see that the French champs are going on, and you go and put in 2016 a video that's going to qualify you for the live qualification, and you finish 43rd. You don't make the cut, you finish 43rd. and then you say you're planning to go to the event anyways, and 3 days before the event, Tico gives you a call and says, you know, people dropped out. Now you have a spot on there. How did it feel from, again, you're just starting beatboxing and you've been doing it, but you know, your first event is GP. Then you go and see how crazy the French scene is, which is absolutely bonkers. But then you go and get to be in the top 40 and get to go and perform and see these guys. How was that? Because you said you went on right before you during the eliminations was Firebraz, and you went on directly after him. So how did that feel to be like one of your first experiences going on a microphone in front of the community in the scene and actually having to go after Firebraz and, you know, oh, there's FIB. Oh, there's LM. Oh, like you have to go and name through all these beastie. You have to go through every single crazy French beatboxer and be like, oh, he's there too. Oh, LOS. This is must have been a lot of pressure for you for one of your first times in front of the scene.
Definitely. That's the beauty and also the problem of the French scene. You know, everyone is really good. I mean, that objectively, really, there are a lot of really good beatboxers in France. So when you start, it's hard to find yourself a way to even battle in to battle at a decent level, for example, you know. But it's always pushing you all the time, you know, because everyone is really good. So you don't have time to just sit and be like, okay, I'm not gonna work for. You're obligated to work all the time for your battles, for your performances and stuff. So, but when I did the French Champs in 2016, I was not at all in that mood. I mean, I was not that good. No, I remember I was I worked a little bit on the spit snare. I had like one kind of cool trick with the spit snare, but I was not on time. My stage presence was not that good. I went just after Firebraz, which is not a good way to start confidently. You know, the guy is there like for more than 20 years, and you're like the young guy. I like a few months ago, I found the live, you know, of the eliminations of the French Champs. It's only findable on Facebook. And I found it. It was like, and I watched all the elims because I have a lot of time to waste in my life. And I saw Firebraz's and mine, and the presentations are so funny. I mean, the presentation of Firebraz is like, okay, he's the 2009 world champion. You're like, he's a father of the French beatboxing. He beatbox with this guy. We all love him. Make some noise for Firebraz. So it was his elim. Everyone is going nuts because Firebraz is really good. I don't know if you noticed. And just after, the Black A and Gizmo, the speakers are like, okay, now there's this guy is a new beatboxer. Make some noise. And that's my presentation. And everyone is like, wow. And I do my elim in that conditions. But I remember people were really supportive. I remember Arturban, Dame, Pacmax, Scratchy, Oxygen, a lot of guys in the French scene that Kenozen, Akinde, all those guys who were. That was kind of the next the new school of France at this moment. You know, the really new school. Nobody was known at this moment. Now they are all killing it in their ways. But I remember we talked a lot. We exchanged a lot with Kist also. Kist and Jiro. Jiro is living in Canada, I think, by the way.
Yeah, in Montreal. I've seen him when I was there once. He was hanging out with and stuff. Yeah, great dude.
Yeah, super sick vocal scratches also, I remember. And anyway, I remember I talked a lot with all the guys, the known, the less known. I was absolutely really stressed when I went, but the judges were supporting. Mike Spohn was going, oh la la, when I did spit snares. Kim was supportive also. All the judges were like really, you know, well supportive, as the public also. The audience was really was cheering even when I didn't deserve it at all because I was not that good, you know. But not that I didn't deserve it, you know. But anyway, it's like I was. That was an elim of a young beatboxer beginning, so it's fine. But yeah, I remember the support was really cool, and I felt super fine after going. And But the day after, I watched the battles and I was like, okay, I have to work a little bit now because, yeah, I think it's my favorite. Mm, it's a tie. It's a tie between 2016 and 2020. I talk about my favorite French champs. It's like 2016 and 2020 were like my two favorites in different ways. But 2016, everyone was there. All Beruam at this moment, not Beastie and B14. BMG, Alexinho, Ninos, all the guys. Nash, Collapse also was there. Akinde did top 16 also. And anyway, that was a really beautiful championship, and I'm super proud to be a part of it.
And then it's funny that you say that those are your favorites, because I could see why it's hard to go and choose one. But we'll get to 2018 in a second. So when you come back from the French champs, do you start hanging out with beatboxers all the time after that French champs? Do you get involved with the community and people, or you start taking numbers and Facebook and everything and start meeting up at different events? Because I know you did a whole bunch in 2017 of battles, and that's when you really started battling in the French scene itself. You had your first battle at La Casta.
That was the song. Sorry. Big up to the guys who were there.
But you battled there for the first time against Ofri, and that's the first time you ever get on stage to actually battle somebody. So, and then you go on and you battle at French Arts Urban Battle. Then you get into Growl Up, and you're pairing with instruments. And 2017 you go to the SBX camp. You battle Enemy in the solo battles, and so let's get up to that point right there. So your first battle, when you actually go head to head with somebody, what was going through your mind when you actually knew that you were going not just to do an elimination, but going to be compared? In 2017, you've given you more time already to go and get some practice and like focus in on it, because you've also said in the Kilakella podcast, you said that it was in your mind from the very beginning when you first started thinking about beatbox serious. You weren't just going to go up there just to go and do it. And you said that you were doing it with the purpose of, I want to go and win. I want to go and be better. I want to go and improve. I want to go and achieve things. So it's not doing it passively. You're doing it being like focused in and aggressive. So how did that feel to go and jump on stage for the first time, knowing that I got to battle this guy?
I mean, that was implicit in my mind. I wasn't like, I'm going to destroy anyone or something, but I think I had some stuff to prove, and because you're new and nobody knows you, you have to. I kind of wanted to show my skills and be able to do music differently than I did before with singing and stuff. So that was kind of a challenge, and that finally I think that's the way to do music that suits me the most. And I wanted to do it on 100% definitely. So. Let's talk about La Castagne then. Oh la la, that was a crazy memory. I went. It's literally on the other side of France. I took somebody drove me. There are apps where people say, okay, I go from there to there, and I have to pay. I don't know what to say. It's like
ride share.
What do you say?
Ride share.
Ride share. It's like that.
Ride sharing programs.
Ride sharing, yeah, that's that. Okay, so I did some ride sharing. It's like 10 hours from my hometown, and my mom was really against it, but I was like, no, I'm gonna do it. I surprised myself when I think about it. I was really focused, in fact, and I don't know. It seemed so obvious that I wanted to do that. It's really weird. Anyway, I go to there and I don't know anyone. I meet all the beatboxers who were participating. So Mirsa, Epoch, Furax, and Starsky, now who is named Orphe, who won the battle, and that's the guy I was gonna battle this night, because this battle was not organized by people who organize normally beatbox battles. One guy versus one guy, one guy versus one guy, another one guy versus one guy, and two groups of three that do an elim, and one guy is picked by the judges. That was really weird. Not at all don't do that. And but that was a really fun experience. So I was in the group of 3, so I was not supposed to battle. I was just supposed to showcase, and that was not organized by beatboxers. So we had like noises that were you had to put some noises in your routine, and the guy who imposed the noises was not a beatboxer. So that was like something like a or something like, you know, that's not that was a weird battle. Anyway, we so I did that, and I did overtime with Starsky or Orphe. I'm sorry, I call him Starsky. It's Orphe now. I call him Orphe. He doesn't like we call him Starsky. But I do a tie with Orphe.
Yeah.
And then we battle in overtime, like this, and that was really complicated for 2 reasons. The speaker announced 1 minute 30. And Orphe was stopped at 1 minute, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And the speaker was kind of drunk. I'm gonna say he was totally drunk. Anyway, yeah, that's what happened. But it was really cool anyway. But so that's how that happened. He had to redo his round, and also that's how knew I was into beatboxing. Orphe did like something with click rolls, like and I wanted to respond, and I thought click rolls were that, you know, with the throat, not with the tongue. So I did a, and I didn't sound it good at all. And I was like, "What's happening? There's a problem with my mic." And then I realized like 2 months after that was not the good technique, and I was like, "Okay." And but I remember also the crowd being really supportive. And everyone was like, okay, everyone was chilling, giving advice. We had a really great time after. And for the little story also, that was the Saro was here. It was like 2 months before GBB. He wasn't known as now, you know, only in the French community. And even I didn't know him, you know. And in the after party, he showed us all his runs for GBB. And yeah, before anyone, you know, and he found, you know, his final round, the Billie Jean round. He found it this night. I was there when he composed this round.
Wow.
He had the idea of the Billie Jean with the granular delay, but Beastie came like, okay, why don't you try it in reverse and stuff? And everyone was like, okay, put this note there, and there. He switched, he put the reverse, and the crazy, you know, effect with the granular delay came. Everyone was like, wow, that's your final round, bro. That's the end if you do that at GBB and stuff. And yeah, so yeah, battling at that moment was, yeah, that made me want to battle even more and to try new stuff. And in fact, I was saying it made me want to hang out more and more with beatboxers and learn from beatboxers and just chill, you know, because I had not that much to do with my life at this moment for personal reasons, and that was kind of a way to escape a little bit from my problems and stuff. So that was really relieving, you know, to have this purpose, you know, like, okay, I'm gonna battle. There's all this world I have to discover. So many sounds, so many people to meet and stuff, and I was like, wow, whole new world. So all began there. So even if the battle was not the best organized battle, as you can imagine, they did it, and that was a really important step in my beatbox journey. So yeah.
And you keep on battling though, and again, you've been going to smaller battles in France that are organized, and that's something about the French scene that's awesome, is that there's always battles going on. You know, many different people do it. I love what Growl Up's been doing. I love pairing it and having beatboxers and rappers working together, beatboxers and musicians, beatboxers and dancers working together.
Yep.
And having all these different solo battles, and also just even most recently, one of the ones I saw was at when everyone went to Firebraz's birthday. We were talking about the other day, and it was just like a fun battle that everyone just jumped into and had competition out of it. But it's an awesome thing about the French scene specifically. And When you go jump into, I think it was 2017. No, there you go. So yeah, so you go into battle in La Mixture, where by Pan Am Beatbox Hustlers,
Wow,
and you
you
get
found
third.
that.
Yeah, you get third place with
Okay.
Tech and he's rapping with you, and you
Mhm.
get third place. How does it feel to go and win a battle in one of the first battles that you win, and you don't become the champion, but you get third place, and you place well, and then in 2018, I'll get to that in a second, but just how did it feel to go and actually place well in a battle and actually see that your work is paying off for you? Because I feel
Mm.
like a lot of beatboxers have that experience of their first loss, and they do that like I'm never battling again, or they get frustrated. But
Mm.
some people take it and they're like, no, I'm going to go and do better. And then getting that
Yes.
confirmation, you get a third place, and you're like, okay, all right,
Mm.
maybe figuring
Yeah,
this out.
definitely. Yeah, yeah. That was like the consecration a little bit because at this moment I chilled a lot at Scratchy's house in Paris and met with the Panama Beatbox Hustlers, were still my some of my best beatbox friends right now. Friends in general, beatbox friends. There's not a such thing as a beatbox friend. In fact, it's kind of weird. You have friends, you know. So
I
with my
agree.
friends, yeah, and yeah, there's this battle. It's like tag teams of with one beatboxer and one rapper, and I went. I was with this guy from Paris, Tekme. Um, we chilled a little bit together, but with it was mostly a freestyle battle. It was like something prepared, one round prepared and one round in freestyle, where the beatboxer just freestyles and the rapper also improvises. And that was yeah, that was a really good experience. And I battled. I don't know if you see, Maestro from France. He's one
I
of
do.
my favorites in France. Also, he's killing it with now he's a beat maker, and he has a project with a rapper called Alvin, who's called PLDG, Pour l'amour du groove, for the love of the groove, and it's really really cool. They sing in French, and in English, and also in an African language. I don't know. I don't remember. They sing in three languages, and that's really really insane. Dope hip hop, dope singing and stuff. So they both were participating at this moment, and they knew each other for years and stuff. And so first we battled. After we passed the first battles, we go against them, who are the favorites, and we made well, we lost because they were really really cool, but they were really good. But I remember we responded really well all the time, and our second round was like everyone was screaming at the end. Everyone was like, "Wow!" Even PLDG was like, "Okay, that's sick" and stuff. The judges were like, "Oh, that was a really cool battle," and even if we lost, that's really important. I think even if you lose, it's not important if you feel like you did the best. That's kind of cheesy. It's like, but it's totally true. If you take a defeat like, "Oh, I'm not gonna I'm not I'm shit, I'm never gonna do anything," that's not how it works. And if you continue pushing and you're like, "Okay, I did my best, but this time there was a guy better than me, but I'm gonna continue because people were told me it was good," then you just have to continue in silence, and everything is gonna be okay at one moment. And also beatbox taught me a lot this, because originally I'm not that much a competitive guy. I don't I never did like sports at a big I was never picked to in the football team when I was little. I was I never competition was not a part of my life at all. But beatboxing taught me, because I thought it was toxic and stuff. But beatboxing taught me there's a good side of the competition. You're like, okay, I have to give my best. It's all about respect. It's not you. Yeah, you have to continue pushing your art form or whatever you're doing. That's the positive thing beatbox taught me, and it served me a lot in real life. Anyway.
I don't know, 100%. Positive things to take away
Mm,
from a competitive scene are definitely that
mm,
it grows the scene. and it pushes its limits because people are going to push each other, and you can see that from if you go to sports, there's so many sports where you have someone that's amazing that comes in, but there's people that push that person to be amazing, because without those people pushing, that person wouldn't try to go and become the best and wouldn't try to go and raise up that art form. So I definitely think that you hit the nail on the head there for saying that beatboxing is definitely a good way for somebody that's maybe not competitive to go and take the positive side out of it and go home and train and get better and get better. And in 2017, you come out and you get the opportunity to come to the SBX camp. And again, SBX camp was sick.
Oh, no. That was so cool.
I was there. You were there.
Yes.
And you
introduced me.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yes. And you jump on stage, you battled Enemy up and got to go and have your first international battle. Where somebody international and get on there. And then you also jumped on. You were with the crew Ramel when you were with the crew battle.
Yes,
you had to go.
That was good memories.
You had to go up against us, the Swag Boys.
Oh yes, man, we battled. Oh my god, the Swag Boys, you destroyed us. We're just little. You destroyed me. You destroyed my poor heart.
It's definitely an easier go when you got BBK, Napalm, and Kenny on your squad. It's definitely a confidence booster.
Fun. And you, bro, and you
I know, right?
You sang so good. I remember perfectly. Yeah, like this with that leader.
yeah, absolutely. That was a fun time. But how was it to go and jump into SBX camp? And for anybody that when they bring it back, when the SBX camp happens, can you kind of explain the vibes that you got there for being a young beatboxer and jumping in and getting to go and, again, you've already started doing this in France, and you said you get to go start meeting people and seeing the quote-unquote idols and having that glass breakdown because you're like, oh, you're just a regular dude that also beatboxes. And how was that experience for you to go and be in there for so many days in a row and everybody's hanging out the whole time and everybody gets to go and, you walk off and talk to these people and maybe make friends there, or I know that you were hanging out with Bass Ventura for a while, and you guys were going back and forth. So I mean, like, how was it to go and have that opportunity to go and meet and build with so many people and learn in such a concentrated but long time?
Yeah, man. The SBX camp was really something special because it was my first international beatbox event where I had a kind of I feel I was beginning to get to a decent level. I was able to exchange a little bit. I knew more about the technical words. I was like more able to speak to learn than at GBB, for example, in 2016, when I was just like all the time, and that was really special. A lot of people thank the camp in general because it's like in fact, normal beatbox events are super cool. There's one problem. It's like 2 days, maximum 3 days, So it's super intense and a lot of things happen, but you're like, damn, I wanted to chill with him, or I didn't see that guy. And the beatbox camp is like, okay, now we're going to take our time. There are classes that you can join, have a lot of time to exchange and chill and stuff. And that taught me, the spirit that's definitely the spirit of the beatboxing, especially the first camp, because it was the first experience of that kind of event, So it was not perfectly the way they wanted to do it was not perfectly shaped. So there was a lot of freestyle. It was like, okay, you come on stage, or you come on. Okay, we're gonna do that. Okay, we don't know how to do that. Let's think. It was all the time changing and super freestyle, but freestyle in a good way, So, and a lot of guys, thank the camp. As I told Enemy, who is my first international battle. Big up to Enemy. I was waiting for that. He absolutely killed it at the beatbox camp. He went to the semis, I think, in solo. He lost against Trung Bao. It's fine to lose against Trung Bao. It's okay.
Absolutely.
And he won the loop station. Is kind of where his career began, and a lot of people were there and just watching Base Ventura. And the most improbable is that Decoy was there this year, and he battled Pash and stuff. And that's the only time I met Decoy in person. Because after, I don't think he went to GBB. I don't think I saw him again in person after or maybe at Worlds. I don't remember. I'm sorry, Decoy, but I don't think he came to Europe again after. But anyway, that's how we connected with Decoy. I saw Base Ventura and Renegade. And that's also when I just, had time to chill and really exchange with my favorite beatboxers, and started, really making real contact with the people I enjoyed the most. And the master classes were super cool. Also, I really learned a lot during that. But personally, I say what I prefer, is just chill and how to say, for that's where I can make kind of a connection with the French scene. Is like when, for me, people ask all the time, why is the French scene so productive, where there are so much beatboxers coming and stuff? Is because it's kind of weird, but when we meet, we don't necessarily talk about beatbox, and we don't necessarily do beatbox. It's not the only thing that connects us, and that's only a stronger boundary, Sometimes I'm like with people from the French scene, and we just eat pizza and talk and do stuff and have a regular evening. We don't even think that we're beatboxers. It's just like I go to Firebra's birthday. Of course, I expect beatbox, but it's not only about that. And that's kind of why the camp is really crazy. It's not only about I have to learn this, I have to talk to this guy, it's like, no, it's just chill. We can exchange. We have the time to know better each other, and after the boundary is really more natural, and that's where you can step up that's what kind of made me step up at the camp, I think.
And when you come back from camp too, after having that experience and still training and pushing it, you get back to French Champs 2017. In 2017, you make it all the way to the quarters, so you end up passing the elimination, beating and winning a battle, the first one that you won at a French Champs, where you end up going against Sammy Try, also big shout to Sammy Try. But then you end up going against Ronix in the quarterfinals, and he ends up taking you out. But you made it from not making the cut to making the cut and winning a battle and getting that opportunity. So again, to be in that community, because the French Beatbox Champs is like another world champs, essentially. It's the levels so crazy high, and it's been said before, and I'll say it again. It's just amazing to go and watch, and the lineup to go and get there, and having yourself get into the top, actually making it that far is big ups to you for that.
Thank you very much, man. And no, that was insane. I was really, I think, young. I was really, really, really young to. I was not realized I was 18, just freshly going out of high school, and I was always working my beatboxing. And I remember my objective, at this moment, was I want to go to the quarterfinals. I remember perfectly, and I did it. That's kind of crazy. No, that's a really emotionating memory, because it's people began to know, to start recognizing my face, like, oh, this guy is River, is beatboxing and stuff. And I did for the first time to a large audience of beatboxers my special trick, and that's the first time I got such a crazy reaction from a crowd, because it's a new sound, so people are excited, beatboxers are excited to hear new sounds and stuff. So I remember when I dropped it, and it was like everyone was like, wow, and really supportive. And also facing Sammy Try was a really great challenge, but I had the advantage of surprise. When you're fresh, your stuff is fresh. You're like I was, a little bit. No, I don't know if I was confident, but I was, I knew what I was gonna do, and Sami also, but I don't know. This time my beats worked. I don't know, and I just happened to win against Sami Try, which is one of my favorite beatboxers in France, and after that, I have to admit I had absolutely no beats against Bronix. I was freestyling because don't do that. That's not but work your routines, please.
No, make sure you work your routines.
And yeah, that was Bronix killed me, but my what I wanted to do was done, and I really enjoyed the champs, and I was really happy to see Collapse win because he's a new school, not a new school, not my generation new school, but everyone is like he began in 2012, I think, to beatbox. So that's a little, that's before me. But compared to Kim, for example, it's the new school. It's like so we began. So to see him win was I remember when I don't remember who raised his hand anyway. When his hand raised and he was like, "Collapse is a new French champion." It made me think, wow, everything is possible. That's you're like even if you are a young beatboxer. I mean, Collapse at this moment was not. Collapse as we know him now, in sense he was not internationally known. He was already really sick, but it was really it gave me hope. I never even said it to him. That's kind of weird to say it now, but it's like, wow, everything is possible, man. You can win against Kim and be the French champion. And after that, he killed everyone at the 7 to Smoke in GBB. Yeah, that's and La Cup also. It was I really symbolically, it was really important, I think, at this moment of my journey. So yeah, 2017 French champs, absolutely insane.
You can see that because again, 2018 comes around after you get that success, and at Rhyme Up, you get your first trophy, and you say you said, "I hope it won't be my last." Yeah, it's the one in the middle there. I remember. I can see it that you have it there.
Is the one? I don't know if you see, guys, but is the one just? Wait.
He's gonna go get it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we're talking to Mr. River right here. He's bringing the first trophy that he ever took home because of beatboxing.
I'm back.
All right. But anyways, so you go there and you get your first trophy, and on Facebook you say, "I hope this won't be my last," and that sets you up because you get your first trophy to go and do that. Now you start smashing it. Now he's 2018. You start smashing it. You battle in the Lormont battles. You go into the Florida beatbox battle. Now this is one where you end up taking second, and you lose to Canones in the finals. But you go up against Bronix, who beat you in the French champs. So you get another chance, and you end up winning. You go up against FIB, and you end up taking the victory there. And again, you just keep going, and getting these wins to set you up for when you eventually go back to the camp again. You end up going and against Footbox G. You end up doing a showcase battle. Well, that's later on, but you end up doing all these battles, and you start getting second and third, and you get this going up the ranks, and building up to 2018, where you go to the French champs again. Now going into that French champs with some plaques that you got, second place and third places that you had, and getting some of these victories under your belt, building to this, going into 2018, where you end up going and you have a crazy run, and you end up becoming the actual French Beatbox Champion 2018, right here live and direct, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
How did it explain just to people how it felt to you personally to go and achieve that, what it meant to you to go and have some of those small victories leading up to this event 2018, and winning the French champs. But what did that do for just your family and people that saw you pursuing this, and in general, just your that level of confidence? Like, how did you go into that competition? So just give me an entire little build up about that, because to watch it from I'm a fan. To go with here from Canada, watching the French champs and see you win, I'm like, oh shoot, I remember this guy. He just crushed it. Everybody, give him some noise. I'm sitting in my room. Ooh, no. But to go and watch it, so can you just give me some of the the breakdown of 2018 of getting these victories on your belt and then eventually winning the French Champion, and what that meant to you, and also just what it meant to you, your family and friends and people that would have seen you growing in this beatbox community.
Oof. Okay, that's a lot. First,
Big questions.
Yeah, big questions. That's important. You did your job very well, man. Anyway, first, 2018 in my head is kind of called the year of the second places. I mean, I did a lot of second places, I think we say, but I ended up second, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 times in 2018. And that was I never was disappointed, because it was always what's important also. I know I did not only do solo battles. I did battles of the Grow Up. As you can see, they're uploading them now on Swissbeatbox. It's the concept is like take one beatboxer with another discipline and do tag team battles of teams of one beatboxer and one instrumentist, as you can see on Swissbeatbox now. But there are also with one beatboxer and one rapper and one dancer. So I ended up second at the rhyme up and at the step up also. And at the Florida, and which was really crazy. That was in 2017, but anyway, or 18, I don't remember. Well, 18. 18, thank you.
I'll tell you it's 18.
Yes, 18, definitely. And thank you. You know my life better than me. But the most important thing was about a little battle in near to Toulouse. In the south of France, called le Kiff Mon Hip Hop battle. It's a dance battle originally, but there's a beatbox battle in it.
Kiff Mon Hip Hop, yeah. I looked it up.
Yeah.
I saw a little post on.
I know you looked it up. I know. and I battled Ozzy and Epoch. I won, and I went to the final against Pac-Max. And what's important also is when I went to the battles, I mean I beatboxed all day, like all the time, you know. But that's kind of weird to say now, because people tell me really good feedback about this on my beatbox now. But I was really bad at structure. I had no idea how to structure a routine. That was, you know, semi-freestyle, okay, I'm going to put this and this, and that had not that much sense. I had like one routine that was kind of structured. That was the, you know, this one. And but that was all. All I had were pieces of semi-freestyle that I put it together in the bathroom, like 20 minutes before the battle. I was like, with a timer on my phone, I was like, okay, what can I put? Okay, I have this. Oh my God, what am I? You know, that's the mood I had when I went to a battle originally. And don't do that. That's not a good idea. And I realized it was not a good idea when I ended up in final against Pac-Max. I was like, okay, it's gonna work. I was like too confident for what I had, because I had no structure totally my beats. And I come up to Pac-Max. I was expecting him to be strong. He destroyed me. That hurted. I mean, literally. He was way better than me this day. Definitely. There was no question, for me at least. It was a 2-1. There were 3 judges, and 2 voted for Pac-Max, 1 for me. But for me, it was clear that he destroyed me. And I was not proud of myself at this moment. And that was in May 2018, just so 2 or 3 months before the French Champs. So I go after that. We have a really good time at the event and stuff. But I'm not satisfied with my beats anymore. And I'm like, okay, my problem is the structure. I have to work on how to put my beats together. I have to come with something clear. not at least know what I'm gonna do the day before the battle, for example. That was the I began to think like this more and more, and I was not in a freestyle way and stuff like before. And also, I had a conversation with Alem because Alem lives at 1 hour from my house. We live really near, and sometimes we meet because he comes to my hometown because my hometown is kind of beautiful. There's a lake and mountains and stuff. So sometimes he comes, and we had a talk, and he told me something that's I think can be good if you are scared of big battles, because what scared me was like, okay, damn, I have to have 8 rounds of 1 minute 30. That's a lot. That's a lot. You have to be surprising all the time. You have to be tight, know them exactly, know when to put it. That was too big for me, and I was like, okay, I'll better freestyle or something. I let it like this, and he told me something really cool. It's like, bro, what you can do is just you do 4 rounds of 1 minute 30, and you're like, okay, I put my best in it, the best thing as I can do in those 4 rounds, and when you have them, those are your second rounds. Those you put in second in the battle, and your first rounds, you see, it's fine. You respond, you see what you have in your mind, or you structure something, but don't have pressure since you're gonna end really, really strong. And that helped me a lot, and I was like, okay, it's fine. And I ended up with 8 rounds at the French Champs because I was not scared anymore. And at the end, some of my first rounds had more effect than my seconds. You know what I mean? That's kind of surprising how the public takes it. So this conversation, and also the fact that Pac Max absolutely killed me. That was a public execution, definitely. And that was hard, but that taught me that made me change my ways to beatbox and to go to a battle, and made it in fact better. And without those losses, all those losses, especially this one, I think I would have not won the French Champs. So yeah.
And what did that winning that and coming back home, family, friends reaction? What was it?
Family, friends reaction. In fact, my little brother and my father were in the crowd, and yeah, that was the first time they saw me on stage. So that was a pretty good day. That was pretty cool. And also, some of my best friends were there from my hometown to support. Who are not that much in the beatboxing originally. Now there are more. They started following what I did, and they ended up, liking the scene. They came to GBB and to the last French Champs and stuff, and they just like the vibe. And I'm really cool. I introduced them to this. But so yeah, for my father, that was like the craziest thing ever. My mom was sent me a message on my Colombian family. It was like, wow, that's crazy. And I think that's the moment where kind of, I mean, people knew what it was serious. I mean, my close people, but once you are the champion of your country, there's no question about it's kind of weird what he does, or it's like evident what you're doing has a purpose and is serious, because I think I to take beatbox really seriously. And that was not questioned anymore in my family after that, because I understand totally that when you see your kid beatbox and it's like, okay, I'm gonna live with this, and you don't have a clue of what beatbox is, you freak out as a parent or as any relative, But that was the validation that permitted me to be more confident with, okay, I do beatbox. What, At the beginning, before that, I was like, kind of hidden. I didn't want to talk that much about beatbox. That's my personality, though. It's I don't like to show off particularly or something. But now I talk about beatbox like because it's my daily life, and because I like it,
Yeah, and you get on beyond the beats.
Yeah. Yes. I did all of that for this moment. So yeah,
man.
that was the validation
And
of
then
everyone.
after that, after you go and win at after you go win the French champs, again, that puts you in a different perspective of even where anybody that goes and wins a national championship is definitely it's a crazy feat. But for someone to win, I've said it before and I'll say it again, the French champs is just another level of like, whoa, you won the French champs. That's insane. And then from there, right on there, you go and you make you do a bunch of different wins. You win Growl Up #3 with Cyril Mahu, who was playing the piano, and you get another W. Then you go and qualify. That's what we're talking about. You get third place at vocal total, and then you end up being just outside. And for Grand Beatbox Battle 2019, you didn't make the cutoff, but because Wing couldn't be there because of his obligation to the military in South Korea, you end up getting
to
in.
the Korean army.
Yeah. but so you get into the and then you end up actually getting into the battle, which we've also mentioned with Tomazakre, and you get to go and represent there. So it's kind of a weird full circle thing if you think about it. I was thinking about this before this conversation started. 2016, you didn't make the top 40, but then you get into the top 40 again, and you get that experience. Grand Beatbox Battle again. You barely didn't make it by one vote. You know, people can go and say whatever they want, but then you end up getting in, and then you end up qualifying and making top 8 and getting the battle in Grand Beatbox Battle 2019, which was one of the craziest events of all time, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure if you haven't done it already, if you're watching this, you probably have, but make sure you go check out the videos that are there. But to go and do that, and then you end up going and winning as well. You win the Florida Beatbox Battle and go back there and having wins against Footbox G, who you faced as well at the World Beatbox Camp, and against Nova. And so, again, 2018, taking that win, moving forward and having a bunch of wins in a row in 2019, that you're getting these opportunities, like your career just is rolling along and you're taking wins and moving forward and stuff. But for Grand Beatbox Battle, coming full circle, if that's your first event you ever went to in 2016, your level of how you got so good, it's amazing to go and watch, because 2 years you end up being the French champ, which is a crazy feat. Then the next year you end up at Grand Beatbox making top 8. Again, super crazy feat. So for you, how do you explain how you got so good, and what was that experience like of going back to Grand Beatbox Battle, making top 8, and getting to battle Thomas Zakre on the craziest stage?
Wow. First, when I won the French champs, I didn't realize at all what it meant, because again, I did a post about it on Instagram recently after the French champs of 2020. It's like when all what you said came, I was young, you know, like really young. I was 19, and to understand what it means to battle at this level, and to you know, it's like you're pushed in the. It's like you're in. It's a weird image, but you're in kindergarten, you know, and you're the tallest and best at I don't know what in the kindergarten, and then you win something and you're like, okay, now you're in the grown world and there are all adults and stuff, and you just go out of the kindergarten and you were big in the kindergarten. But that's kind of the same thing, you know. You're like, I was battling the French new school, who is absolutely insane already, but then suddenly you enter in a whole new level because you're the national champ, you know. That's what after the French champ, I went to Firebra's house because he lives in Lyon, and I had my train the other day anyway. So we and I needed to have a chat, you know. I was like, okay, man, I'm the French champ. What the fuck do I do? You know, it's pretty it's hard to understand what you have to do at this level. You're like, okay, this is a big achievement, but what's next, you know? And Firebras is like, bro, you're now you are facing the French new school. Now you're gonna have to battle B arts. Alexinos. You're gonna have to battle Dilos. All these big guys, you know. Now they are your opponents. And he told me, no, you move your ass. You send the wild card for the GBB because the deadline was next week, and I was like, I don't know if I send the wild card to GBB. He told me, no, you send the wild card to GBB. You're obligated. You're the French champ. Get your ass to work, you know. And for vocal total, for all the big battles, you do them. You're obligated to do that because you're the French champ. You know, that was almost that. He wasn't, the putting a knife on my throat or something, you know. But he was like, that's reality of the things, you know. You have all the opportunities to do that, and your position permits you to do everything, every crazy battle you always wanted to do. So do them, you know. And I went to my house, and just after just after the French champs, I had no time to rest because I was flying to London to attend the UK champs. That was 1 week after, and during the week I went to Alem's house, who is near, you know, and we worked my wildcard for the GBB 2019. And I structured it with Alem. He helped me a lot on this one, and we hoped a lot after, because I put it all the best routines I had in this time. So when the results come, I'm at one place to go, you know. So I'm really I'm super disappointed. I'm like, man, that was almost it and stuff. And again, Pepuni sends me a few months later. Okay, bro, Wing is going to the Korean army, so he's not gonna be able to make it. You're gonna replace him. So first, I'm replacing Wing, who is one of my favorite new school beatboxers, and definitely a big inspiration. And yeah, I'm repeating what you're saying, but that was really unreal, you know. And yeah, GBB was the craziest experience also. Do you want me to talk about GBB or something in particular, vocal total? Because there's a lot of information.
There's huge amounts of it. I know. I was waiting for you to go and decide what you think's important right now to go and talk about, because all of it's important. But I mean, like, whatever you think is best, my friend.
Okay. So GBB, the GBB was I worked my elim a lot. But again, I was really young. I didn't realize what meant to battle at this level. I don't feel I prepared enough for a GBB, you know. I had not that much new stuff and new routines. I worked my elim a lot and showcased a lot of my skills at the moment in my elim, you know. But I against Thomas Sacre, for example, I'm not really proud of what I did. That's personal, you know, because I know it's fine, and I know I wasn't ashamed or something, but I am not totally happy with what I did. I think I could have done better, but it's fine. People, because that's my first million views. Woo! And and also Thomas Sacre has really taught me a lot in this battle, because it's like he's a perfectly fitted beatboxer for GBB. He can move a crowd like like no one, which is a part that I have to work also. And because I'm not the hyper, you know, I'm really into technical stuff and stuff. Well, and only now I try to open my beatboxing to singing or more or other genres that move the crowd or this stuff. At this moment, I was really hiding behind my technique, like trying to showcase the best beatbox techniques, but not really thinking of the musicality of it. And that also because when you sing or when you're directly in contact with the crowd and making them feel stuff and stuff, you give yourself more, you know. And I wasn't that much ready for that, because you know, getting personal and trying and singing is really personal, you know. And doing that in front of 1,000 people when you're 19 and you're not that much confident with yourself, that sounds weird. I'm in front of 1,000 people, and there are views on YouTube and stuff, but I was not confident with myself at this moment, you know. So GBB taught me that, and after the vocal total was also a big step before there is the Florida, where it's like it's a big how to say, it's a big achievement, and I felt more confident. Firstly, because I was in France, so it was my playground. I'm used to battle in France, in Poland less. So I felt really more confident and more ready to go like, okay, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna do this routine. Okay, this works, and I was really like pushing hard and trying to showcase my best. And I think I was better at the Florida than in GBB. And the final was absolutely crazy. My battle against Football G, I think that was the hardest battle I had in my life. Tie with my battle against Akinde, the final of the French Champs. I think that was absolutely hard mentally. You're like it's a game of minds at this level, because the guy you have in front of you is so sick. You just have to, you have to take you have to take absolutely sick beats. You like everyone goes, wow, the guy is doing crazy techniques, and you just have to go like, okay, thinking about the responses, but in your head you're like this. Yeah. So, but in your head you're like, oh man, you're killing me. Stop that, please, don't do that. And yeah, this was a really important battle in my career, and Football G is really inspiring, and I think we killed it, and Supernova killed it also. I battled also Susu and Kei from China. That's the first time I battled an Asian beatboxer, I think. So big up to Kei, who's the Chinese champion.
100%.
And boom. And after that comes the Vocal Total, who is for those who don't know, the Vocal Total is in an a cappella festival. So there are a lot of activities during your journey in Austria, in Graz. So you have a lot of visits, showcases, parties, all of them organized by Nexor, the one and only Nexor.
Big shout to Nexor, by the way.
Big shout out to Nexor, who is absolutely killing it. Also to Tara and Yvonne, who also help a lot Nexor, and who guided us really well in the streets of Graz. That was really, really cool. Anyway, the battle comes, and I'm not also really fine with what I did. That's all the time I say I'm not happy with what I did or something, but that's only personal. I see. I know it was fine, but I wished I could do more and stuff. But I ended up third, and at this level of international battle, that's one of my best results. So I battle also a lot of crazy beatboxers, and yeah, that was crazy. I don't know what to say about Vocal Total. I just remember I had a really good time. I wasn't even in a battle mood, I think, because yeah, the battle is the one of the last days of the week, and just before you just chill and have fun in the cities of Graz and stuff. So it's kind of hard to go in a battle mood, especially when you don't realize you're battling at this level. Because again, I was 19 and not realizing all the stuff it implied, and that was more an energy of wow, we're chilling with beatboxing. I'm learning new stuff, meeting new people. Then I'm gonna win, But I'm really happy with my results. I remember saying to myself before, third is fine, and I ended up third, so that's cool. I'm happy with that.
Well, at that level, it's an accomplishment to get to win the small finals and take.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. That means you only lost one battle the entire tournament, which is great.
Yeah. And it depends of your mood also, because after that, I went to the SBX camp 2019. I was invited,
You end up going there and slapping up the 7 of Smoke and the fastest one ever, and a bunch of different videos come up, and afterwards you go and crush it, ladies and gentlemen. 7 of Smoke champion right there, beating all international peoples and just killing it, man. It was dope to go and watch that. That's when Killa Kella, big shout outs to Killa Kella, by the way.
Yes.
He was hosting that year. I remember watching that back and being like, wow, this guy just smashed it up. So 2019 was a good year to go for you. 2019, you're killing it. And 2019, you also make top 8 in the loop station for France. And you got like, that was one thing too. You've been working on the loop station since 2017-ish when you finally came in the mail or whatever, you get it and you start working with it. And I saw videos too where you were talking about them before, but you would who were you playing with? You were. I saw videos where you were playing with the guys you mentioned before, Billie, or the 2 guys from your town.
Furial. Oh man, that's deep. That's.
So I found those. I found those videos, a few little pop-up things, but it was great to go and see that because I mean how far you've come with Loop Station as well, and 2019 as well with Collapse. You end up making Rogue Wave or Rouge Wave. I'm not sure if it's
Rogue Wave.
Rogue Wave. So you end up getting that, and you guys end up placing 7th in the rankings and making it to the 2020 Grand Beatbox Battle World League. Yes, we'll be into, ladies and gentlemen. But again, 2019, 2018, you're killing it. Then the whole world kind of shifts, like it has for everybody, and everything moves online. And you said that you never really did a lot of online battling. You never really were too much involved with it. But then your progression and how much you've crushed it online is dope. Like I'll just go and read this off because you make a Grand Beatbox Battle online, you make it up to the top 16 there, and you do well. And then 2020, you win the international over Beatbox International. Shout out to Beatbox International, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. But you win over Vokoda and Zero, who ended up winning competitions that you placed very high in. You win the La Cup. Big shout outs to La Cup. Big shout outs to France. Big shout outs to Kim. You win the Franco Microphony battle as well online. You win the Odyssey OSB battle online from Beatbox America that you go ahead and take home $1,000. And then most recently, after all these wins and placing well online battles, your last online battle that you said you're going to retire from the online scene for a while. I hope that you're not going to retire forever. I hope you're going to come back to it if you ever feel Froggy you want to go and jump. But you end up taking 2nd place in the online World Beatbox Championship brought to you by the beatbox community here on Swissbeatbox. So ladies and gentlemen, 2020 thus far, even though it's been stuck online, River's been crushing it. And I wanted to go and ask you just a little bit more about those battles specifically, because I kind of, again, you took a whole bunch of W's, you won a whole bunch of battles over some amazing guys, and beat, for me, you went up against my boy Vino, and you had a battle with him. And you did well. You battled Andre Gibson. You did well, obviously. So you've had a lot of success. And when you were talking,
also.
Yes, I remember. you did pretty well against Canada. We're gonna need to go and hopefully see some of those boys on GBB stage and rectify that. We'll see. I wish you the best.
Just wanted to remember that. No, because lovely. Canadian scene is so sick. Anyway.
Canada. But right there. So the transition though to online, because I kind of find it weird myself too. I was always used to hosting battles live, and here I was sitting in my room, and it's interesting for me to go and try to just keep people hype, and I'm realizing I'm talking to a computer when I'm doing this, and it's online because I've never done that before. I never hosted battles before this year online and stuff. And for you as a battler transitioning over where you don't have the microphone that's hooked up to these big subwoofers, as you said, that can go and really get the people to feel that it's in their headphones or through speakers, and you don't have that interaction with people. You're just sitting in your room doing it to a screen as much as you possibly can and trying to get people hype. But how did you transfer over did you find the transfer from live battles on stage to the online scene? What has helped you? And could you also go through your setup? Could you talk to me real quick? Like, I'll let you first. We'll get to your setup in a second, actually. But first of all, your transition from the live battles to online battles. And one thing that you said that I thought was really interesting was, again, because it's live, online, and there's headphones in and people can hear every little thing you're doing, you have to be so precise online, and there's no room for error because someone could hear it so clearly, whereas live people might be caught up in an emotion, and you can get them into a swag and get them into a get the crowd behind you, so they might be caught up and might not necessarily hear it. So just explain the difference between online and for the live battles that you do, and how you've adapted to it, and also just the experience of winning a bunch of battles.
Yes. French power.
Fish.
So anyway, yeah, that was first I want. There are a lot of reasons why live and online battles are different. Firstly, the most obvious one, you're in your room, in your sweatpants, and you're basically in front of on your computer where you just chill and watch YouTube videos. You know, it's like so. It's at first it's really weird to try to find the same energy that you have in battles, in live battles. You know, because normally it's like you travel, you spend the day with beatboxers, you feel the energy coming when you go on stage. People announce you, it's like wow, and you're on stage with the mic, you feel the basses and stuff, and you have to pass from battles to your room where there's your mom there, and it's not the same feeling, and it's hard to get the same energy. So first, that's the most obvious. I'd also say that particularly in my case, I like to mix my beatbox in a way. I play a lot with the highs, the effect of surprise between the highs and lows. I think particularly in my beatbox, I think a lot about this. It's like I go with the pitch snare, and then I put a sub, and then it's like what makes kind of my a bouncy effect. I think a lot about this, and that works really well live, because it's like you can feel the basses. It's like for example, when I do Feel the Silence, it works all the time because it's like it goes from high to low, ta ka ta ka ta, and the goes blows all the makes everyone shake, because it's really surprising. Not because it's more powerful or something, because it's unexpected at this moment.
It just has that contrast that comes in.
Yeah, exactly.
Sharp contrast. Yeah, go ahead.
And I think a lot about that when I structure my beatbox, for example. That's it. And when you try to do that online, that doesn't work that much, because you don't feel the basses in your chest, and there are sounds that work better in live, and sounds that work better online. It depends on your mic, but for example, I know I have mics that doesn't take good soccer punches. For example, I don't know if I do. It's not you. Have you ever when you see a soccer punch on live? Yeah, it hits you there. It's like soccer punches. You feel punches. There, it's like you don't feel it the same way. That's details. But when you structured all your routines for live performances, it's really different to play them for an online battle. And the last thing is also you hear every single detail. It's like people are really focused. There are not the subs that are hiding your little imperfections, or drunk people cheering wow, and the judges skip a part where you're approximative on tempo or something. It's like everything you do is exactly heard, and that's what I think made me lose at GBB against Duds. He was totally super precise. Everything was clear, simple and effective. Not simple. That's not simple what he does. Effective. Everything was effective. And I was still in a way of beatboxing that was adapted to live. So I did a lot of and all those bass sounds that work really well for live, but less in online battling. So I did that. I think that's prejudiced me also because I went musical against duds, and that's not a good idea. Never do that. And um, and yeah, that's the main point. And you asked me also why the what was the switch? Why did that switch? You asked. I'm sorry, I took a lot.
No. I like hearing you talk, man. You're interesting and have good perspective on things. No, I was asking. I was gonna ask you afterwards. I said let's go and just talk about the experience of switching over from live to online, which you've done. But now I want to go and actually ask. Can you go and run through what gear you use and what you're using currently, just for microphone, headphones, and just kind of go through your setup and tell us kind of, because like, you know, I'm using this microphone here that's kind of a standard, but your microphone's nice and clear and your headphones are clear. I can assume that you hear it really well. So what do you use for a setup online, if you don't mind me asking? Just because I get messages all the time asking like, what do you recommend for us to use to go and get online or record stuff for live purposes online? And like, I have my recommendations, but I can see that you sound good when you obviously placed well in competitions, and it sounds good. So we'll ask you for a little performance at the end of the show. But just could you just kind of run us through your setup?
My gear, yeah, of course. So I'm using here my computer. It's connected to my RC505 just there. I don't know if you see it. Yeah, it's my RC505 is connected to my computer, so that's why I hear you. You know, it's connected, and my headphones are connected to my RC505, so I can control the volume and on my directly there, and the volume on my mic also, just there. And as a mic, I use this wonderful DPA de facto.
That's the microphone that you won at the SBX camp, right?
Yep, because it's too expensive if I have to buy it personally. But it's really worth the price. I think I would have bought it even if I think I would have tried to buy it at some point. It's really dope, and it's I think it's the best dynamic microphone for beatboxers that I've tried. You know, so definitely. I'm really happy with this mic, and yeah, it works really good.
And is that also do you use that when you do performances outside of battles and stuff? Do you use the DPA, or do you try other microphones? Just whatever. Do you prefer to use the DPA on live events?
No, on live events, I bring my DPA all the time. I think it's the only dynamic microphone I have still. You know, but yeah, all the time it works super cool. It needs a ghost limb. That's the only thing. But yeah, and it's kind of particular. You need specific arrangements to put it. But it really catches all the good frequencies for a beatboxer. And what I like also is like when you for example, I do in an intro of my routines, I do a lip roll on both sides, like. And normally on for example, on a regular microphone, I have to put my hands like this, you know, my two hands to catch all the sound. But here the spectrum where it catches the sound is bigger, wider. So when I do, I can just put one hand and it works. So yeah, definitely it's good for beatboxers.
You still have the other hand to go and do the beatbox hands like everyone does.
Yeah, I can do this and this. But anyway.
Yeah, no, I want to ask you about the setup. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that if you're going ahead, and I got one right here. I'm repping the 505 as well, because that's how I go and have all these different sound effects put in one-shotted. Big shout out to Maddox for sending me those as well. And grab yourself a DPA microphone if you want to go and beatbox on stages. But let's real quick, height. Let's go and yeah, man. So we've talked for a while here. We went through how you got into beatboxing, went through your come ups of the ranks in the French beatbox scene, jumping into the beatbox family from Grand Beatbox battles to taking wins at French Champs 2018 to pairing with Collapse. Now you're gonna be in the 2019 Grand Beatbox Battle World League, to be in the Loop Station battles, and to taken a whole bunch of W's online. But right now, I want to go and ask you, are you ready for this section called
Rapid Fire? Rapid Fire.
Rapid Fire Questions?
Whoa, okay. Oh my God.
All right. So what I'm going to do is just, ladies and gentlemen,
Who did the jingle?
I think that's Maddox.
Rapid Fire.
Wow.
I'll have to see.
But
He'll
go
put
to
it
the
in
doctor, man.
Yeah, go to
That's a
the
weird voice.
rapid. Yeah, he's got it down. So, ladies and gentlemen, right here, live and direct. Once again, we got River.
Rapid Fire.
I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions and just give me your fastest answer that you can. And don't think about it too much. All right, let's do this. Right here, live beyond the beats. We're with River, and this is
Rapid Fire.
first and foremost. Who is your favorite solo beatboxer right now?
Gene.
Who is your favorite tag team right now?
Spider Horse. Again, Gene.
Who is your favorite loop station artist right now?
Brez.
Who's your favorite crew right now?
Squid.
What is your favorite instrument to be paired with at Growl Up?
Piano.
Which character in Game of Thrones represents your personality the best?
Wait. Odor? I don't know.
What character in Dragon Ball Z are you?
It's cocky to say Goku. So I'm gonna say Krillin because he's underrated. He's a really good guy, a really good father, and he's super strong compared to all the humans. So
I like that
big up
answer.
to Krillin.
Good answer. What is the best French cuisine?
The best French cuisine? Oh my God. The one from my grandma. Everything that my grandma, from my French grandma does.
What is your favorite Colombian food?
Sancocho. From my grandma too.
For those of us who don't know, including myself, what is that?
It's a soup. It's a really nice soup with meat and vegetables and a lot of stuff. That's delicious when it's well done.
Are you going to go back into the French champs in the future for solo?
Yes.
Are you going to be in the French champs for loop station?
Yes.
Do you think you will one day win Grand Beatbox Battle?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it right here. Rapid fire with River. I like those answers.
No, I was so stressed. I said odor, man. That's not true. I'm not odor.
Who are you?
Well, I don't know. He's a good guy. He carries everyone and stuff. It's fine. I can be odor, in fact.
Rapid Fire.
I'll take that.
Round two. No.
Round two? Oh, shut up.
Last one. I'm just screwed with
Last
you now.
one.
All right.
Okay.
Which Pokemon are you closest to, do you think, if you had to be a Pokemon?
I'd say I don't know if it's I don't know. I know only the French. It's Evoli. I don't know if you say. He evolves in. Yeah, you see?
We got that one then in well, I guess in Canada, but I guess North America we have that as well.
Yeah.
I think another
Because
one you're talking about.
Because he adapts he can evolution. He has evolutions in all the types, fire, electricity, and stuff. So he can adapt to everything.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. And most importantly, possibility of a future Grand Beatbox Battle champion sitting across the screen from me here. He's going to be practicing and train hard because that's the hardest competition that you're going to go and get yourself into right now. Now we're going to get into a question or two from
my friend Papuni.
My friend Papuni
has a few questions for you.
My friend Papuni
would like to know. Let's see here. What's one good question that he asked? He asked a bunch of questions. I'm going to go and pick a few out. There we go. What is the most important part about your training? Because you have a unique style, so a very specific, unique style. How do you advise people to become original and stay original?
I'd say don't think about trends when you practice. Don't think about what other beatboxers do. take inspiration from them, take what's good in their beatbox, but don't compare directly to themselves. Listen to the music you like, even if that's music that no one listens. It's totally what is gonna bring you to a level of originality. And I say also, if you can't do the sound that everyone does, it's really fine, because it's gonna be for example, I explained that already, but in other stuff. But for example, I didn't have the case snare a long time, so I came out with an outward case snare. It's simple like this. When I got the inward case snare and the double inward case snare, I was like, okay, but what if I do that with my outward case snare? The same principle of double. Oh, okay, that sounds good. And after I'm like, okay, if I put a double speed snare before, okay, and then I have a new combo. But but that is because I found this combo because I wasn't able to do a sound, So Sleazer told me that in Austria. Big up to Sleazer. He was like, I'm not original. I'm just bad at imitating, and I think that's the story of my life. So if you can't do something, that's probably what's gonna bring you to ways to beatbox that are gonna define your clear style, and that's the most important training. Go to the stuff you and you only can do, and focus on it, and you're gonna get original 100%. Sure.
Very good answer. Let's go for a second question. And some of these you just was kind of saying like just messages of how much he loves you, and he didn't really ask a question, but he was just saying that he loves you and respects you and wants you very much in Grand Beatbox Battle. And he asked this a lot, but when's the next time we're going to get a river shout out for SBX from
my friend Papuni?
Wants to know.
Ooh. The thing is, I brought a lot of stuff during those online battles, and I have to keep my stuff right now for the Florida, because it's the 23rd of September in France. So I have to keep a little bit of my new stuff. But definitely with pleasure when I'm able to show new stuff and new ideas. I'll do a shout out for SBX with pleasure, of course, all the time.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. SBX is going to get a new shout out from River sometime soon. Last question from
my friend Papuni.
My friend Papuni.
My friend Papuni
wants to know, and we've talked about this already a little bit, but he goes, since you've won a lot of battles, both physically and online, when you're on stage and online, aside from having that defeat, and like you said before, of going and actually thinking about your rounds and practicing and not freestyling so much, and some of the advice that LM gave you as well, can you say, is there any tips? He wants to know, are there any other tips that you can, to winning events? Is there something that specifically you can say has helped you aside from what you've already mentioned?
Okay, that's cheesy, but have fun. Definitely, just have fun on stage. That's the most disarming thing for an opponent, for you to have fun. And having fun is cool. It's not an effort. If you just have fun and still be focused. I don't mean messing around and be just like, just enjoy totally the moment when you are on stage, and people are gonna feel it. They're gonna feel a positive energy from you, and it's gonna be disarming also for your opponent. So I'd say that, just when you're on stage, enjoy it 100%. Feel totally what you're doing, and if you're confident with your routines, it's gonna be a wonderful moment if you win or if you lose. But it increases your chances of winning, simply.
100%.
My friend Papuni.
Big up to Pepuni.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Those are questions from our friend Paponi, my friend Paponi, your friend Paponi. And now we're going to get into a few questions from the crowd. Okay?
Ooh.
So people that have been watching have some questions that they want to go and ask you, ladies and gentlemen, have put into this. So let me go and find them. Mr. Maddox, who's been running the stream. Big ups to Maddox every single time.
Big up to Maddox.
Man behind the scenes, taking it over. And as well, he's been putting out some new stuff. Make sure you check out what he's been putting out on Swissbeatbox recently with Hiss especially. And some of his solo tracks. Make sure you check out Maddox.
Yep.
Ish. But questions from the audience. What is your favorite color?
Blue.
The people want to know.
Yeah, I imagine. I assume that.
They want to know: are you making a living off of beatboxing now, currently?
It's my purpose this year. Make a living of beatboxing. I stopped. I was working the last year, but no, I didn't. I stopped my job before the summer, and now the purpose is find gigs, do workshops, do concerts, and live of my beatbox.
Yeah,
There you go.
I agree. I love hearing that. And actually, before I go on that list, I remember seeing, I think it was like 2017, you ended up doing a workshop and with Speaker B and Kumar and Firebraz, where you came into a week-long, I think it was like 150 kids or something like that, is what I saw online. And you went to this camp and you ended up doing a workshop and then teaching. And then 2019, fast forward, you did your first solo one in Lyon that you, I believe it was Lyon. Maybe I'm wrong. I got that.
Dijon. It's in
Dijon.
Dijon. Yeah.
Sorry. But you end up doing your first solo one. So ladies and gentlemen, real quick, if you guys want to learn how to beatbox, I'm sure you do some online stuff. Do you do online coaching right now yet? Or is that something you're looking into?
You can contact if you want to learn a little bit about my modest knowledge on oral form. You can check the Beatbox Academy. It's held how can I say? There are teachers for every aspect of beatbox. I teach structure. Zeka teaches technique. Thomas Acre teaches stage presence, for example. At the beginning, it was only for Spanish speakers, but now it's opening for a lot of other people, English-speaking people, basically. So I think there was a commercial on Swissbeatbox that was uploaded, and if you want to know more, you can go on the beatboxacademy.com.
So yeah, I know. I just wanted to mention that I had seen that you've done a few workshops already, so that's something you should pursue more. And I've also seen you've done different showcases. So if anybody's here watching that is from around the world and wants to go and get River onto their show, because he's performed at stuff like Pop Day and Anansi Music Day and a bunch of different showcases I found. I got you. I'll find out. He's performed at a lot of places. So if you guys want to go and get him on showcases, hit him up, and he's got a bunch of different stuff he can offer you. So another question from the audience. They want to know, what is your favorite sound or combo of sounds that you're currently working on? Not something that you have 100%, but something that you're working on, unless you're going to save it for the Florida Beatbox Battle.
No, I did it. There's something I like working. I'm gonna work it in different ways, but it's like it's a combo with Ololi Pros and a weird it's between percussion and double voice. I don't know what to name it. It's like a that's hard. That's kind of open.
That was dirty. Another question from the audience. How did you get so skinny? Ish?
Stopped eating all the time, really burgers and outside, and exercising a little bit, simply.
Good choices, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you go and hit that gym or do some push-ups, go for a run.
Yeah, a little bit.
And,
It feels good. It feels better.
yeah.
It's good for the beatboxing also.
Get physical with it. Last question that the audience wanted to go and ask you was, did you have any problems when your name blew up and you became kind of a big name in beatboxing? Is there any issues that you have or problems that came up with that, associated with it? They just want to know that.
Problems? No, it's definitely it's all it's all advantages, and there are problems, but it's really nothing compared to all the happiness that it is. For example, at GBB in 2019, I couldn't talk with my friends without people wanting taking pictures with me and stuff. That was really weird. I never lived that. And every participant was living that, but it's not even a problem. It's super cool. People are validating what you're doing and stuff. It just it feels weird, but it's not a problem at all. No, it's, man, wow. I can see a problem, definitely. I swear.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
It's
next
all
Grand
happiness.
beatbox battle. Make sure you go and get a picture with him when you see him.
Yeah,
Mention
please.
this.
Pleasure. I'll
He'd
do
love
that.
to do it. Absolutely, man. And I'll get in lineup as well.
Yes.
But yeah, man. All right. Those are questions from the audience. I'm going to go and say that we've talked to you. We've learned about your life. We've learned about your training. We've learned about battles that you've won. Now we got a question. Do you have the energy to give us a showcase right now? Even a little one, even a freestyle? You have energy enough to go and give us something? Because people were asking the entire time for you to perform, and only if you feel comfortable.
Okay, no, I feel comfortable. Of course, I'm going to do a showcase.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming at you live and direct right here on Beyond the Beat, French Champion 2018. I can go on the list of amazing other battles that he's won because it's very, very long, but let's go ahead and just call him the French Champ. Ladies and gentlemen, Esh, make some noise as he comes to the stage. We have River from France. I say the 3, y'all say the 2 and the 1. River, show you what you do in 3.
Bounce. Nobody close to the flows. I got the let me show you how it's done, Russ.
Ish, ish,
Ish.
ish. Ladies and gentlemen, right there, showing you once again why he's the French champ, showing you once again why he won the Odyssey battle, showing why he won the Look Up battle, Odyssey battle, Microphony battle, smashed it up at the SBX camp, slapped up, growl up champion. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, River from France. Ooh la 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 la. Well, you smashed that one, buds.
Thank you.
That was a
Thank
crazy
you very much.
one.
That feels good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. All right. So before we jump off here, I just want to go and say, first of all, thank you for jumping on here and talking to the people and spending time with me, man. It's been good to go and talk to you. And
thank you for the invitation.
yeah, I had a great time talking to you and learning about your life, and I'm very excited to see where it's going. So before we jump off, what is it that you're what are you working towards, man? What are some goals that you have in your mind and projects that you want to go and work on? Is there anything that you want to go and say before we get off? And just where are you heading with this beatbox thing?
Okay, so basically, first right now is gonna be the Florida Beatbox Battle, the 23rd of September. That's my first objective. In general, I'm gonna try to live on my beatbox this year. I'm gonna focus also on Rock Wave with collabs. We're gonna prepare some stuff, try to do gigs and stuff. Also, I'm gonna continue working on my routines, working on my weaknesses, working on new bass lines, on new ways to approach my beatbox, and I don't know, maybe I'm going to continue dropping videos. Maybe after my objectives are always GBB and words. I don't know when they're gonna happen, but I don't know, maybe an EP or something one of these days. It's not sure at all, but I'll keep you informed about that. I focus on the loop also. I want to have, really, I want to be totally satisfied and that it totally shows myself, but it's definitely an objective. I don't know when it's going to happen. It's always been in my head, but one of these days is going to happen. There you go.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, right here live with my good friend, Mr. River. And before we jump off, one last thing. Where can people go find you online? What are your handles on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook? What are you going on, and where can people find you and support you?
Okay, so River _BBX on Instagram. You type River Beatbox on YouTube, you find my YouTube channel. I released the videos of the Odyssey Beatbox battle. The last one is called Moon, and I'm really proud of it. Pulsate did the sound, and Robin, the beatboxer from France, did some sick visual effects on it. Yeah, 2017 Loop Station champion, 2020 crew champion with Squid. Top 8 of the GBB 2017. French champ 2011. In tag team with Sibe. What did he do again? He can play the piano. It's
so make sure
okay.
You guys go and check it out. Make sure you check out River Beatbox. He's going to be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Thank you guys very much. And yeah.
Wait, Maddox, say something. GBB wildcard, first place, Robin. Yeah. I'm sorry.
French. No, never be sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go support the boy. He's been crushing it. Live battles, online battles. He's moving into the world of performing all over the place. Check out his new stuff that's coming with Collapse. Check out the new stuff that's going to be on his YouTube channel. Check out him when he's going to be going into the battle right there. Florida Beatbox battle that's happening September 23rd. Make sure that you tune in. I'm assuming that'll be live stream on Swissbeatbox or maybe possibly Beatbox France. I'm unsure, but let's say it's Swissbeatbox for now. And ladies and gentlemen, right here, live and direct, my good friend, Mr. River. Thank you for coming on, brother. I appreciate you.
That was amazing. Thank you very much, Scott. Big up to Swissbeatbox. It was amazing to talk with you. always. And thank you. That was really introspective, and I'm happy if people found some stuff about my life. And yeah, man, big up. I miss you. It's been a while.
I miss you too, brother. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, go online, find the stuff that River's been putting out. Look forward to the stuff that he will be putting out. Make sure you go and support him. He smashed it online during these times. He smashes it in real life. I can't wait to go see you, brother. I'm going to give you a hug, a handshake.
Yes.
And maybe we'll have a beer together and all that good stuff too. But ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for tuning in. You've been watching Beyond the Beats right here with Mr. River. I'm Scott Jackson, Swiss Beatbox. We're going to sign out like that. Just kidding. Start dancing again. It's back to the beginning. You thought I was going to forget? Bring that joke back. Come on now. Jeez. Come on. It's not done yet. You're about to go and see him. E-River's not done. But seriously, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Every Sunday, I'll be back here telling you what's happening beyond the beats. Thank you for tuning in. Swiss Beatbox, all that good stuff. River, love you, man. With that, I'm going to say, and that's time.